I swung a mixture of positions targeting 730 on the Qs this week, mostly because of a gamma exposure analysis. I swung a few broken wing butterflies targeting different expirations, as I wasn't entirely sure when the Qs was actually going to go to 730, but I had conviction that we would see 730 this week. I've been monitoring and trading the NASDAQ a lot more than I have in the past, mostly because within Quant Trading app, we have a gamma exposure analyst, Dan, that's post the NASDAQ 0DTE gamma exposure profile, as well as his analysis every day. That has caused me to start looking at the NASDAQ a little bit more, as I love trading with gamma exposure. If you're new to this YouTube channel, I highly recommend you check out my gamma exposure playlist, as I've been sharing my analysis on gamma exposure for a few years now. This autumn, I am also hosting a gamma exposure workshop in New York City. There are 2 that are confirmed. Some highlights from last year's workshop is also currently on my website, as last year was my first workshop. Now, the workshop is just not filled with lectures. It is filled with exercises as we all chip in and analyze gamma exposure profiles together. It is a group class in which we discuss different strategies for different profiles. Everyone chips in and everyone has varying levels of experience. This is actually Dan here last November, and this was his first time ever even looking at a stock chart. He didn't even know what candlesticks were. He didn't know what bulls and bears were prior to taking this workshop, and he became a gamma exposure enthusiast, and then he started working at Quant Trading app, and he's actually the one that posts the analysis. Now let's get back to this week's profile here. The levels that you see on these charts are also coming from Quant Trading app, so I'm not manually plotting in any of these levels. If I were to turn off my studies, you guys can see it is a clean chart. Now, what the studies are plotting on the charts are the gamma exposure levels for Friday's expiration. So this green level right here is letting me know that this is the highest net positive gamma expiration for Friday. This is the highest absolute gamma exposure level for Friday. These levels were calculated from pre-markets, and gamma exposure is dynamic. So as the market is open, we get an updated analysis here. This is at 10 a.m. Eastern time, but we also have a feed that is constantly updating throughout the day. So this is the 0DTE analysis, but we also have the weekly gamma exposure profile that is posted throughout the day. Now, the thing about Quant Trading app is we can go back to previous days. So if we go back to Monday's expiration, and instead of looking at the 0DTE, we can take a look at the Friday profile. So this right here is 10 a.m. on Monday of this week. This was the key strike that we see here, 730, as well as this level of 735. This is letting us know that this is where the Qs were. So I already liked that there was some decent net positive gamma exposure to the upside, and I noticed that a decent support level was 715. So 715, as you guys can see, is down here. On Tuesday, the markets did go down, just barely getting close to 715 before it bounced. But without looking at anything too advanced, the beauty of Quant Trading app is that the levels are plotting on our chart, and it makes it relatively simple. So we can catch a variety of different trades. So for example, even here today, there was a trader that was interested in taking Meta, for example, and he asked yesterday about taking some calls on Meta. My thought process was maybe at 580. Now, why did I say 580? Because from Quant Trading app, I saw this level on the chart. It was a big net negative gamma exposure level, and it is highlighted right there on the chart. So if I were to go to Meta and we pull it up, we can see how simple that some of this trading can become. So this is letting us know here, this red level is letting us know that this is a decent support level for Meta. If it was to bounce, the profit target would essentially be the next major gamma exposure strike if you're looking for a big intraday move. If you're looking for a smaller trade or a scalp, then obviously trading to VWAP is always going to be smart. These other levels are coming from Quant Trading app. This is letting us know this is max pain for Friday's expiration. This is also the intraday zone within Quant Trading app, and it's letting us know this is a decent area if there's confluence to take profits if you are long, and this is our 2-day anchored VWAP. So there's a mixture of different strategies and setups that we know to pay attention to within Quant Trading app. So when I was analyzing the Qs earlier this week, there was a lot of gamma at 730, but without even doing an in-depth analysis, I just saw that it was lighting up on my chart again because it came straight from the scripts. Then I decided to do a further analysis. Now, I like to trade spreads, so I like to structure my positions to have as limited risk to theta as possible unless I have massive conviction. So in this case here, this is a broken wing butterfly, as I didn't know how high the NASDAQ was going to go, so I didn't want any risk to the upside, but I knew I wanted to target 730. Now, a mistake I've made in the past is just go with one expiration, and I end up regretting it. So what I do now is I spread my risk across a variety of expirations. So this is the expiration for today, which is Thursday, but I also went with a similar spread. As you guys can see here, it is essentially the same strike prices, but then just going with the Friday expiration, because let's just say that Qs did not bounce this high today, and it kind of got stuck around 725, and then tomorrow it made the move on Friday. As we see that happens often, I didn't want to miss it by a particular day, so I like to spread my risk. I also went as far out as Monday's expiration, but this trade was actually opened yesterday, so I wanted to add a little bit more risk to the trade as I had more conviction, as I liked how the Nasdaq was holding above this level here, but more importantly, I liked how it was holding above 725. Now during power hour it did sell off, but it sold off and came right back down to this level of support. So that's something to keep in mind when a trade is going in your favor and you're getting additional confirmation. You can always add a little bit more to your position once you start getting confirmation that the trade is working out. Instead of looking at every day, let's just jump forward to yesterday and let's take a look at what the Friday expiration, which is the weekly expiration, looked like. Again, I'm ignoring the 0 DTEs because these were swing trades, and we take a look right here. Let's look at 15 minutes after the market opens. This is what the Friday expiration looked like. So this is August 14th, but this was generated yesterday at 9:45 Eastern time, and we can see that the Qs was stuck right at 725. So I interpret this as if it's going to hold above 725, it's naturally going to want to gravitate towards this major gamma exposure strike of 730. It is the absolute gamma strike, and it is also the highest net positive gamma strike, and with the Nasdaq being in a overall net positive gamma territory, it's naturally going to want to gravitate towards strikes like this. Again, I don't know how high it was going to go, so I made it broken wing, so there was no risk to the upside. On top of that, on the larger time frame, I'm aware of this massive flag that formed on the Nasdaq, and it did break out. This area is also the apex of a massive consolidation within the Nasdaq. So that was something I actually shared last week here, so well before the swing trade for this week, as this was the apex on the NDX, and I shared the NDX, the Qs, it doesn't really matter, they're all derivatives of the Nasdaq. So aware of this 722 level, as the Nasdaq was consolidating around 722, I figured as long as it can get above here, it's naturally going to want to drift upwards. On top of that, the Nasdaq is actually lagging behind the S&P 500. So if we take a look at the SPX, we can see that the SPX has broken out and has gone much higher, as this was the previous all-time high. The equivalent would be the Nasdaq is all the way down here. So instead of only going long the S&P 500, I wanted some exposure to the Nasdaq as it is lagging. So my interpretation is that if the market is going to have continued momentum, then maybe the Nasdaq is going to want to attempt to reach its all-time high, which is up there. If we take a look at it on the Qs, it's pretty much going to be 700 and almost 50, so 748. That is essentially how high the Nasdaq can go, again, if there is continued momentum now that the Nasdaq has broken out. We do see that there is a flag here. We also see that there was a shorter term flag that was forming right here. We had that breakout that came yesterday. So once that broke out happened yesterday, which happened here, and it was consolidating above 722, and the way the gamma exposure profile looked, it made it almost a no-brainer for me to take the risk to the long side. This is coming from the gamma exposure analysis, but I'm also applying some macro analysis with the daily time frames. I'm applying technical analysis, and then I'm using spreads to execute on the trade, managing my risk accordingly. These are all the different types of things that are covered in the gamma exposure workshop, because just taking a look at gamma exposure, sometimes we don't know how to actually execute on the trade, and we don't always know what strategies are best. So when we take a look at a profile that might look like this, at the end of the workshop, you'll have some sort of an idea of what type of spreads to actually execute on. Now, obviously, you could have just grabbed the 730 call, but just getting long an option is not always going to be the ideal scenario if you're looking at it from a risk standpoint, as well as a high probability. Now, the dates are on my website, again, at Trading Lit. Seats are limited. Last year's workshop was the first one. The seats did sell out, and it was a smaller room. This year's September workshop will be in a larger room, so there will be more seats available, but it will be limited, as I'm not looking to have too many people in the class, as everyone gets individual attention and everyone presents their profiles. So for time, it is first come, first serve, and again, the seats are limited. Most of the attendees from last year have already confirmed that they will be attending again, so they have already started to purchase their tickets. As of now, the tickets are only being sold for workshops at the end of September and October. There may potentially be a November workshop. There's a link in the description of this video with a form in which you can fill out for more information, as well as a link to my private Discord server, Trading Lit. Guys, if you enjoyed this video, let me know. If you're new to this YouTube channel, please hit the subscribe button, like this video if you learned something, and I'll catch you on the next one.